morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a wonderful week, and hopefully your weather is nice. We're down here in Tampa. Weather is nice right now. I guess cold front pushed through last night. Nice and chilly this morning. Not enough more than a shirt, but just to where you feel that cool air on you. And then bright, warm sun getting ready to come up. So those are usually really nice days. But let's talk a little hobby talk. One of the things that I understand and agree with, but also understand a different level of, is when we talk about a GOAT type player. And I know now the term GOAT's being kind of trying to be revamped or re-understood, which I can agree with that too. A GOAT to me is a top 5 player of all time, not top 25. And that can be a lot of different things for a lot of people, but when you start to do something like that, when you think basketball, you definitely say Michael Jordan. So bing, GOAT. Just stop. You just know that right there. You say Tom Brady, bing, GOAT. You stop right there. Baseball, Babe Ruth, bing. You know what I mean? Those are true GOATs. And then everybody else is not the greatest of all time, but one of the greats. So maybe we need to start a term called O.G.O.A.T. So Frank Robinson, O.G.O.A.T. Karl Malone, O.G.O.A.T. Because they're one of. Or maybe you say one GOAT. I don't know. O.G.O.A.T. sounds like a yogurt. So O.G.O.A.T. I've just termed the phrase O.G.O.A.T. It is now considered a Hamm anonym. These are words that I've created in the past and use in my real life. And if you know me long enough, you will understand some of these words. Those are O.G.O.A.Ts. And I love to collect O.G.O.A.Ts. But at the end of the day, you want to be holding the GOAT. And that's a big deal. Now, when you start talking about players that fall in the, what are they going to do for the rest of their career? It's too early to get into them at this high of a price. So, and we're talking about like a Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert or maybe even a Tatis Jr. or Vlad Guerrero, or these guys that come out in Bowman First products that are top prospects that at the end of the day, 10% of them, maybe 10% of them that were considered top prospect even are decent players, and less than probably 1% are ever great. And you're trying to play that game to get in as early as possible, because the new cards have a much different impact on the hobby than an older card of an established player that can't be what are you doing for me lately. And so those cards just steadily climb. Those are always going to climb with graded sales. So if a Joe Montana PSA 10, BGS 9.5, whatever sells for higher than it did before, all the other cards behind that create that step ladder, and they slowly go up. Pop counts matter on certain things, and then pop cards don't matter on others. Everybody likes using this recent thing is Joe Burrow has 700 different rookie cards with its variations, inserts, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But out of those 700, how many of those would you truly want to own considered top tier cards, or the main set of cards that you would go after? And that's what you really need to concentrate on if you're trying to do it for a true investment, long-term hold, or highest impact when a card goes up, and lowest impact when a card goes down, because the desirability is going to be higher. So those are the ones you're going to focus on. And I understand they make a ton of product right now. The hobby right now is eating it up. The conversation with Card Collector 2 last night on Brad and Dustin's Off-Centered was one of the things he said is wax. They're going through a ton of wax, and we're going through wax because of breakers, and then all this wax is creating all these singles and inserts. And yes, top tier, low numbered things are always going to be valuable. They're always going to have their own special place. But what do you do about all these other cards, these base rookie cards out of Prestige or Absolute and things like that a lot of people don't go after? Well, those are the cheaper cards, and that's the entry level spot for the kids basically, or people that maybe just want a rookie card but don't want the best rookie card. It's the same thing with Tom Brady. You can get brain going, no. But the 2 cards where he has another player on them, they're not super expensive. You can go get those. Are they as cool because he's, with another player on it? No, not really. You want them on by itself. Is it the main one everybody wants? No, but it's technically for what Tom Brady has become and is still becoming, a very affordable card. It's very cheap. Personally, I don't think any rookie card he has, even the crappiest one, should be under $200 raw. Any of them. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's going to own records probably for the rest of our lives, if not, until they stop playing football as humans and they're half robotic, which will probably happen at some point. Or we just let them all take steroids and just rip each other's heads off. That'd be an interesting league. But so I understand the point that Joe Montana's rookie card raw, decent condition, maybe $150, and a Prism base Justin Herbert is like 100 to 120 now, something like that. I haven't checked the comps lately, so don't hold me to that. But I'm just trying to give you that comparison. A guy who's already done it, established, and already has his place in history, to a guy that is just starting his career out, looks really good, looks promising, is already excelled prior to the prior year that he played, including Joe Burrow. Both of these guys have done that. And they've taken teams in the last year to 2 years now that were not good teams and made them good by themselves. And they're only in their second year. That's a huge, huge step. Giant leap for a player. And I think we expect so much out of these young players when they come out of college now, especially when they get to start, that you're not seeing that true value out of the player until later. And I can understand collecting other guys and getting into it later. I mean, obviously the Zach Wilsons and the Trey Lances, Justin Fields, their cards are kind of like wobbly right now, because you see a decent performance with a bad outcome, and then you see a bad performance with a bad outcome, and you're like, probably shouldn't be paying a whole lot for this card right now. And then the market just falls backwards. And those are the things, everybody wants to be in early, because if you're in early on those cards, you have the biggest upside usually, because a lot of guys don't dip heavy. I mean, let's look at Patrick Mahomes right now. He is not playing well. That team does not look good, and he does not look like a top quarterback in the league at all. Bad mistakes, the line's horrible. What would Mahomes be if there was no Kelsey or no Hill? What would he be? How bad would that team really look? And how much could he really do? And would he be putting himself even at more risk than he already does? And that's something he's got to look at. Great talent, but let's face it, Michael Vick was a great talent. Something just kind of went awry in his life, and then that screwed his career up, and he came back, and he was considered a Hall of Famer for years. Like, that was that idea, and I understand that impact that people are talking about. It's like, why buy in now? Well, if you buy in now, you get it for $2,000, and if you try and buy it 5 years from now when they're still up, you got to buy it for $8,000. Also, the market's different now, where a card's going to come in and have a higher value impact on the market because it's relevant to now, not been sitting around as just laying there waiting for anybody to come get it. It's new and fresh, and that's what people love. They want the new fresh. They want the new chase. Sports cards is a form of gambling, especially when you're ripping. There's an addiction to it. There's a drive to it, and there's a chance that you're trying to take in order to win big. The thing that's decent about cards, because I don't gamble outside of this, I do consider packs gambling, especially breaks. But you know what? At the end of the day, I still usually have something to hold and have something that can go up. And that's why I said on Dakota's channel when I was talking with him, Bowman Chrome and Bowman products are the best products to get into a break and not really care what team you end up with. Because at the end of the day, that guy, 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now, honestly, could all of a sudden be worth something. It's really weird. Eddie Rosario, perfect example right now. His cards have gone up a ton. And is he a Hall of Famer? Absolutely not. But he's a what have you done for me now player, and people are impacted by that because they want to go get those players. I don't know why, personally, because there's no long-term value, but it's a reactionary market, and that's the reaction. But that's just how I see it. But there's a little video, guys. I'm on my way into work, making sure I don't get caught in this speed trap that this cop's sitting at in this 30-mile-an-hour zone. By the way, this zone that's going by the stadium used to be 40 miles an hour, and now it's 30, which it's 4 lanes, wide open, median in the middle, technically housing/business on this side. Drives me nuts, but whatever. let me know what y'all think. Do you like the term O.G.O.A.T, or would you rather call it one GOAT? I think one GOAT's trying to put him at the top. So maybe we just call him O.G.O.A.T, or can you come up with a better acronym for one of the greatest players of all time? O.G.O.A.T it is. All right, guys, like, subscribe. Getting closer to that 1G thing. Hopefully I'll get this video out here this morning. I don't think there's a whole lot going on in the hobby right now. Basketball's kicked off. Ja Morant's looking great. I'm a long-term hold on Ja. I'm a mid-tier hold on Zion, even though when he gets back, he'll start to dominate and everybody will lose their mind again. But basketball is interesting with a couple of the guys that are like Miles Bridges and stuff that's going up. And basketball is really weird because the impact can happen at different levels of the season. And it just takes 2 or 3 great games or highly overdone games from a player in order for their card to start to peak and get interest and then continue with momentum. But all right, guys, I appreciate it, and y'all have a good Wednesday. Take care.